Welcome back to the channel. If you work anywhere near a modern vehicle, this skill is essential. An ECU, a gateway, a telematics unit. Today we cover threat modeling and the method the whole automotive industry runs on Stride. By the end, you won't just know the words. You'll be able to look at a real automotive system and find how an attacker would break it and how to stop them. This is the foundation of ISO 21434 and UN R155. So let's build that foundation properly. Let's get into it. Here is where we're going. 4 stops. First, the what and the why. What threat modeling is and why it saves time, money, and lives. Second, the methods. We compare the 3 big approaches so you know which tool to reach for. Third, Stride in depth. We break down all 6 threat types one by one. And fourth, real attacks. Genuine automotive examples and the exact defenses engineers use. No fluff. Every section builds on the last. Part 1. Threat modeling basics. Before we touch any tool, you need the idea behind all of them. Get this part right and everything else clicks into place. So what is threat modeling really? Strip away the jargon and it's this: a systematic way to find what could go wrong before an attacker does. We map the system. We imagine how it could be attacked. We decide how to defend it. That's the whole game. And the best way to do it is to answer 4 simple questions. Question 1. What are we building? You map the system, the data flows, and the trust boundaries. Question 2. What can go wrong? You brainstorm threats against every single part. Question 3. What do we do about it? You choose security controls to reduce the risk. Question 4. Did we do a good job? You review, you test, and you verify. 4 questions. Every solid threat model answers all 4. So, what is threat modeling, really? Strip away the jargon, and it's this: a systematic way to find what could go wrong before an attacker does. We map the system. We imagine how it could be attacked. We decide how to defend it. That's the whole game. And the best way to do it is to answer 4 simple questions. Question 1. What are we building? You map the system, the data flows, and the trust boundaries. Question 2. What can go wrong? You brainstorm threats against every single part. Question 3. What do we do about it? You choose security controls to reduce the risk. Question 4. Did we do a good job? You review, you test, and you verify. 4 questions. Every solid threat model answers all 4. Okay, so how do we actually do it? There are several methods. Let's meet the main 4. First, Stride. Built at Microsoft. It sorts threats into 6 clear categories. It's general purpose, easy to learn, and it's the automotive favorite. This is the one we'll focus on. Second, Pasta. A deep, risk-centric 7-stage process. Powerful, but heavy. Best for complex systems with time and a team. Third, Attack Trees. A visual map of how a goal can be attacked. Great for showing multi-step attack sequences. And fourth, Linden. This one is focused on privacy threats. If your system handles personal data, Linden is worth knowing. Let's put the top 3 head-to-head. Complexity. Stride is simple. Pasta is complex. Attack trees are medium. Learning curve. Stride, 2 to 3 days. Pasta, 2 weeks. Attack trees, 1 week. Time to run. Stride, a few hours. Pasta, 1 to 2 weeks. Attack trees, half a day. Best use case. Stride for quick threat ID. Pasta for enterprise. Attack trees for visualization. Fit with ISO 21434. Stride, excellent. Pasta, very good. Attack trees, good. So here's the honest advice for a junior engineer. Start with Stride. It's simple, it's fast, and it's the industry standard for automotive security. Master this first. You can always add the others later. So let's understand Stride properly. It's beautifully simple. Stride is a memory aid. Each letter is one category of threat. And here's the clever part. Each threat is the exact opposite of a security property we want to protect. S. Spoofing. Pretending to be someone or something else. It breaks authenticity. T. Tampering. Secretly changing data or code. It breaks integrity. R. Repudiation. Denying an action with no proof it happened. It breaks non-repudiation. I. Information disclosure. Leaking protected or private data. It breaks confidentiality. D. Denial of service. Making a system unavailable. It breaks availability. E. Elevation of privilege. Gaining rights you should never have. It breaks authorization. 6 letters. 6 threats. Learn these, and you have a checklist for any system on Earth. Now let's see each one in the wild. Part 2. The Stride Deep Dive. Now we get specific. For each threat, I'll give you a definition, 3 real attacks, and how to defend. This is where theory becomes practical. First letter, S. Spoofing. Spoofing is pretending to be a trusted user, device, or system. The goal is to gain access or send false commands. The property it attacks is authenticity. Let's make it concrete. 3 examples. 1. CAN message spoofing. High risk. A fake ECU injects messages pretending to be the real one. Now false commands reach your safety systems. 2. GPS spoofing. Medium risk. Forged satellite signals trick the car about where it is. That means navigation errors and a security bypass. 3. The key fob relay attack. High risk. The attacker captures and relays your key fob signal. The car unlocks and starts with no key nearby. So how do we defend? Message authentication with signing and certificates, challenge response protocols, and secure key storage. If you can prove who's really talking, spoofing fails. Second letter, T. Tampering. Tampering is maliciously changing data or code, in storage, in transit, or in a configuration. The property it attacks is integrity. 3 examples. 1. ECU firmware tampering. This one is critical. An attacker modifies the firmware to bypass safety checks. Now the vehicle behaves in ways engineers never intended. 2. Sensor data manipulation. High risk. The speed values feeding your ABS get altered. The system reacts wrongly at the worst possible moment. 3. Odometer fraud. Medium risk. The mileage stored in ECU memory gets rolled back. It sounds minor, but it's financial fraud at scale. The defenses? Digital signatures and integrity checks like hashes and checksums. Secure boot so only trusted code runs, and write protection on critical memory. Third letter, R. Repudiation. This one trips people up, so listen closely. Repudiation is when someone can deny an action, because the system kept no trustworthy record of who did what. The property it attacks is non-repudiation. 3 examples. 1. No diagnostic logs. Medium risk. An ECU gets modified, but nothing records who did it or when, so unauthorized access simply can't be proven. 2. An unsigned software update. High risk. Firmware gets updated with no record of where it came from. If it's malicious, you can't trace it. 3. An untracked driver override. High risk. A driver assist system gets overridden with no log. After a crash, that missing record becomes a courtroom problem. The fix is all about accountability. Secure logging with trusted timestamps, digitally signed actions, and tamper-proof audit trails. Fourth letter, I. Information disclosure. This is the exposure of protected information, secrets, credentials, or personal data going to the wrong people. The property it attacks is confidentiality. In a connected car, this matters enormously. 3 examples. 1. GPS location tracking. High risk. An attacker intercepts live location data from the telematics unit. That's a serious privacy violation and a real stalking risk. 2. A diagnostic port leak. Medium risk. An unencrypted OBD2 connection exposes the VIN and usage data. That feeds user profiling and even insurance fraud. 3. An infotainment data breach. High risk. Contacts, call logs, and saved Wi-Fi passwords all extracted. That's the doorway to identity theft. The defenses are clear. Encryption, both at rest and in transit. Strict access control, data minimization, and secure deletion. 5th letter, D. Denial of service. Denial of service is making a system unavailable to real users by exhausting its resources or crashing it. The property it attacks is availability. In a moving vehicle, availability is not optional. 3 examples. 1. CAN bus flooding. Critical. The network gets flooded with high-priority messages. Real ECUs can no longer talk and safety systems fail. 2. A battery drain attack. Medium risk. The attacker keeps systems awake to drain the 12-volt battery. The result? The car won't start and the driver is stranded. 3. A gateway crash. High risk. Malformed packets crash the central gateway. Now entire networks lose communication with each other. How do we defend? Rate limiting and resource quotas. Network segmentation to contain the damage. Watchdog timers to recover from a crash. And redundancy. 6th and final letter. A. Elevation of privilege. This is gaining higher access rights than you're allowed. From a normal user to an administrator. Or from one part of the vehicle to another. The property it attacks is authorization. This is often the attacker's end goal. 3 examples. 1. Diagnostic mode abuse. Critical. Service mode gets exploited to gain full ECU access. From there, the attacker controls everything. 2. The infotainment to CAN pivot. Critical. This is the classic one. A hacked infotainment unit becomes a launchpad to reach safety-critical systems. 3. Debug port abuse. High risk. An open JTAG or debug interface gets used without authority. And every security mechanism you built gets bypassed. The defenses come down to discipline, the principle of least privilege. Give each part only the access it truly needs. Role-based access control, network segmentation, and critically disable debug interfaces in production. Let's lock it all in with one cheat sheet. Screenshot this one. Spoofing breaks authenticity. Think fake CAN messages. Stop it with message authentication. Tampering breaks integrity. Firmware modification. Stopped with secure boot. Repudiation breaks non-repudiation. No audit logs. Stopped with secure logging. Information disclosure breaks confidentiality. A GPS data leak. Stopped with encryption. Denial of service breaks availability. CAN bus flooding. Stopped with rate limiting. And elevation of privilege breaks authorization. A debug mode exploit. Stopped with access control. 6 threats. 6 properties. 6 defenses. That single table is the heart of automotive threat modeling. So how do you actually run Stride on a real project? 5 steps. Step 1. Draw the system. Diagram your components, your data flows, and your trust boundaries. You can't protect what you can't see. Step 2. Walk each element. For every component and every flow, ask all 6 Stride questions. Step 3. List the threats. Write down every realistic threat you find. Don't filter yet. Step 4. Rate and prioritize. Judge each threat by impact and feasibility. Focus on what matters most. Step 5. Add defenses. Choose your controls, then recheck and document every decision. And one pro tip that separates good engineers from great ones. Combine Stride with established threat catalogs, like the UNR 155 catalog and MITRE ATTINC. Stride sparks the ideas. The catalogs make sure your list is complete. Let's bring it home. 6 things to remember. 1. Threat modeling is a systematic way to find weaknesses before attackers do. 2. Stride names 6 threat types: spoofing, tampering, repudiation, info disclosure, DOS, and elevation. 3. Each letter is the opposite of one security property. Tampering breaks integrity. Spoofing breaks authenticity. 4. Stride is the go-to method for ISO 21434. Simple, fast, and complete enough for automotive. 5. Apply it to every ECU, every network, every interface. Then pair it with threat catalogs. And 6. Always finish the loop. Rate the risks, add the defenses, and document your decisions. That's threat modeling in Stride, the real foundation of automotive cybersecurity. If this helped, you know what to do. And I'll see you in the next one.